Hi, today I have a very special guest, and that is Casey Bowser. And Casey is with the Butler Little Theatre, which is near and dear to your heart and mine. Mm-hmm. And Casey, I know that you have multiple roles there, right?
That is true.
All right, tell us some of the roles you have.
So I started as an actor way back in probably 2002.
Okay.
I've been there since 2002 in some capacity. At first, just an actor, and then as I got more and more involved, I realized that the needs of the organization needed some folks to go a little bit beyond that. So currently, right now, I am on the board of directors.
You're on the board of directors, so you really have kind of grown with the history of the Butler Little Theatre, which if we talk about the history, I was reading, and I know, somehow it formed like in 1920, but maybe did not actually move to its physical location until in the 1940s. Is that correct?
You got it. So there has been live theater here in Butler since the 1920s.
Right.
In 1941-42, a group of enthused people came together and they actually formed the Butler Little Theatre community. So there's actually, in the archives at the theater, there is a written letter from the state that recognizes the Butler Little Theatre as a community organization. And that happened in, like I said, 1941, 1942.
Wow, and it's always been in the same physical location since then?
So in 1941, 1942, it becomes, it becomes official.
Right.
For a handful of years, I believe it's like 3-4 years, it's on the road.
Okay.
It's in different locations. It's at hotels. It's at restaurants. In 1944, 1945, they purchase a building. They purchase their first building. They purchase their only building. Since 1945, the Butler Little Theatre has been in the same exact place. It's been in an old barn right on 1 Howard Street, which is just a block off of Main Street. So one of the questions that drive people who've been involved for a long time at the theater, the question that we regularly get is, so where is the Butler Little Theatre? It's in the same place that it's been since 1945, right off Main Street.
All right, yeah, not that far from like the Armstrong building on Main Street, right?
Yes.
Right a block back. And I actually know that, Casey, because a long time ago I was in a play there and I had a great time. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about the upcoming season.
Sure.
So there is 4 different productions.
That's right.
And the first one is Social Security, starts September the 30th.
Yes.
What's that about?
So Social Security is a play that is, it involves a woman and her husband who are New York art dealers.
Okay.
So they're New York art dealers and they get a surprise when the female sister visits them and delivers a surprise, and that surprise is the mother who has been living with the sister for several years, and she says she can't do it any longer, and she actually drops the mother off with these two art dealers, or they might be art critics, and they leave the mother there, and
is this a comedy?
Hilarity ensues.
Okay, I could tell from your description. Mm-hmm. And you can check and see the whole lineup of all 4 shows, I know, is on your website.
Right.
And I know when our audience hears all of this exciting information, they're going to want to become a member.
Right. So Social Security is one of the 4. The rest of the season looks like this. It looks like a Christmas Carol. It's a version of a Christmas Carol, a comedic version of the Christmas Carol. That happens exactly when you would think it would happen, after Thanksgiving, but before Christmas. That show is followed by... it's based in truth, based on a true story. It's called Lifespan of a Fact. That happens early in the spring. And then the final show of this season is called The Book of Will. And The Book of Will is it's a show about the members of Shakespeare's company coming together and putting together the first complete works of William Shakespeare. Also very much based in truth. It's fictionalized, obviously, a little bit, but a lot of what happens in that play is based on fact. So that is the season. Social Security, Christmas Carol, A Lifespan of a Fact, and The Book of Will. And season memberships are available right now.
Right now. Mm-hmm. So season membership gets you, obviously, tickets for all of those?
That's correct.
And are there other perks for being a member?
So one of the biggest perks is that it gets you discounted tickets for all of those 4 shows. So you get 5 tickets for those 4 shows to use whenever, however you would want. So let's say the Book of Will doesn't interest you. It interests me quite a bit, but let's say it doesn't interest you. You could use all 5 of your tickets at Social Security or all 5 of your tickets at A Christmas Carol. You can use them however and whenever you would like.
Okay, wonderful. And I know from being involved too, there's a lot of fun just being a volunteer behind the scenes, helping with costumes, even individuals that help with seating, guests at the actual plays. So how can people learn how to become involved?
Absolutely. That is one of the biggest needs that we have currently, is people getting involved. The community theater is just that. It happens because of the support of the community. And there are, just like you said, so many different ways to get involved that require different levels of time.
Yeah.
So if you're only interested in saying being an usher is a one-night commitment. But if you're interested in performing, if you're interested in directing, if you're interested in running lights for the production, those are all opportunities that are available to any member of the community, and we will train you. We will make sure that if you're going to take this on and you have a passion for doing it, we are going to spend the time with you to make sure that you're comfortable and that we have an obligation to deliver a quality product. And the person who's thinking about it, maybe thought about it for years, if they're interested and they're willing to give up their time, they can be involved in producing quality theater for our community.
Casey, how can people learn more about the Butler Little Theater?
So they can log on to the website.
Okay.
And when you log on to the website, you can find how to volunteer. You can find out how to get a membership, and that is butlerlittletheatre.com. And if you need to, you can put the www.butlerlittletheatre.com. But either way, both are going to get you there.
All right, very good. Well, thank you again for being a guest, and please support the Butler Little Theatre. Thanks for watching this episode of the Butler Buzz. If you want to see more, just click on the playlist button up here. To keep up to date with all of Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, click on the subscribe button down here. Hey, I suggest you do both. See you next time.